Ba-da-ba-bum, ba-da-ba-bum. I got him, you got him, we got him. Comic issues, yeah!
Hey guys, welcome to the Mystery Review, the show where the comics are chosen by you. All you gotta do is take this list here. There's a letter on the left side and a number on the right side. The number corresponds to how many comics we have in that lettered box. The numbers in the parentheses are the ones that are already taken. So all you gotta do is you take a letter and then a number that's lower than the number on the right of the letter. Put that down in the comments below, and we will go to that box. We'll go to that comic number. We'll put it on a wheel, and we'll spin. And if you win, we're going to review your comic. Doesn't that sound like fun? I only got one question for you. Do you like chorizo? Yeah, I do. But let's get into this, guys. We got five spinners on the wheel, all from Monday's video, or Sunday's video, actually. So I think this is episode like 36, maybe 36. And yeah, looking forward to it. Let's dive right in and let's see what this wheel has for us today. Let's spin this thing. In 3, 2, 1, spinning. Bam 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 bam. K1. K1. I think this is another new player. Another new player. Anyways, thanks everybody for putting your comments down below. I really appreciate it. It makes everything fun for me. Got a lot of haul videos coming up soon. You guys are gonna hate seeing me here soon enough. All these comics that I've gotten. It's gonna be so much fun for me, and I hope that you guys like it too. So yeah, we will go get the comic and see what it is, guys. Be right back. Hey, got the comic. It's right here in this nice envelope. And we're going to open it up real quick and see what K1 holds for us. And 3, 2, 1. Bring, ding, 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 ding. Reaver. All right. Reaver number 1. So awesome. This is Image Skybound. And that's who did Walking Dead, I believe. Skybound. Image. This is Justin Jordan, Rebecca Isaacs, and Alex Guimarães. So I don't think I've read this one before. The cover looks pretty cool. Let's crack it open and see what kind of adventures await. Be right back. We're back. We're done with the read. We're reviewing The Reaver number 1. This is came out in 2019 in July, I believe. So there's 11 issues of this, and it's ongoing. But the bad news here, guys, is the last issue published was 9/9/2020. So yeah, I don't know if they're going to continue doing it. If the thing, I guess the thing didn't wrap up because it says it's ongoing. But yeah, it was written by Justin Jordan, and he's done Shadow Man, Curse of Brimstone, Spread, kind of all over the place, about 300 something issues. And the art's by Rebecca Isaacs, and she's done one of my top series that I really enjoy is maybe not top series, but I do like this series. Is Money Shot. And then we have Buffy, and we have Hack and Slash, or Hack Slash Slash. You ever read Hack and Slash? That's a weird one, man. That dog just creeps me out. It gives me the willies. This skin dog. I can't remember what they call it. Maybe it is called skin dog. I don't know. Anyways, our story starts in a discovered continent, Madeira. I think it's called Madeira. And after 11 years, there's still disagreements on, the territories of this place. So here we open up, and our opening scene is just a huge battle, and there's people just getting destroyed everywhere. The art in this is pretty good. It kind of looks like the art from, like Ryan Ottley's kind of art, I guess you would say, from Invincible, or John Wick. If you've read John Wick comic, kind of looks like that. Pretty good art. The color's good. So at first I was thinking about this comic, and I was like, it doesn't. The cover looks cool. And as I got into the comic, it was like, whatever. But it gets better. It gets better. So if you start reading this one, give it a chance. So we're here, and we have this main guy, and he's like, doesn't matter much, but he seems like he's like the general's son or something like that, the king's son, somewhere like that, somebody important. He's leading this army. And there's this guy, check this out, they're on friggin' reindeers. That's what their mounts are. And they get done battling, and this guy's jumping off a reindeer to try to get this guy out of the way, and they fall to the ground, and then they think, everything's over, but there's all these magic things going on and hitting the ground. And he's like, wait for my count. And they dash and get into this trench. And in the trench, the main guy's like, hey man, how did you know about this? And he's like, I've been around the block once or twice, and this is part of the Ersk. I think the Ersk or Esk. That's one of the battling nations here. So we see this guy's name is Ash, and he's helping the main guy, and he just saved his life. And the reason they counted is because these things need time to recharge. So that's why he counted to 4, because he knew that all the bullets or the big explosions would be done, and he'd have time to get away. So they go to so they're in the trench, right? And the blasting's over with. They decided to take off because all the things are gone now that was shooting down. We never see what the things are. And they're going to make their way back to the city. And Ash is going to go back and get help. But the guy's like, no, I have to go with you because I need to be able to save you. And while they're sitting there talking and bantering, just all of a sudden their whole troop just starts getting destroyed. Right, this big, huge, mountain, like the guy from the mountain from Game of Thrones, come through and just starts destroying everybody. And Ash falls back into the trench, so the main guy tries to help him back up. And while he's pulling him up, the big dude comes with a big battle axe and just whacks his arm right in two. Ash goes running. The guy starts crying to help, like, Ash, you gotta come and help me. You gotta come help me. And next thing you know, boom, he's dog meat. That guy just stomped his back, just squished him. But the funny thing is, that guy was on their team. He was supposed to be helping them, and he just goes crazy. So the battle's over with. We go to the king's area. So this is from the good guy's point of view, I guess. The guy with the that just got stomped on. I think he's part of this guy's military. Ash was his sergeant, and here he's like, why are they destroying us? There's no way this should be possible. There's got to be something going on here. And you hear this little guy saying, hey, I know what's going on. And the king says, well, I guess he's the king. I take him for the king. He says, so you think you know what's going on? And the guy said, I know more than just think I know what's going on. I do know what's going on. And here you see these weird looking guys. And so I guess his name is Colonel Travos, was the king guy. I guess he's not a king, he's a colonel. Anyways, that big monster looking thing is Thess. And the little guy's name is what's his name? So he goes on to explain. The little guy goes on to explain why he knows what's going on, and it's because the legend of the Nemo. So the Nemo had they would kill their children and as sacrifice to be able to see what's going on, what's going to happen a short time in the future. So he says the Ersk must have this same thing going on. It's not the Ersk, it's the Escalines. Sorry, it's the Escalines have this same thing going on, but they have it as a much bigger scale to be able to see this far into the future. So they bring up the Anvil. And the Anvil is this place where they have, it's supposed to be an industrious zone, but they're really just killing their slaves, and they're sacrificing tons and tons and tons of people to be able to see this thing. So they have to get a way to get into the Anvil and stop this from happening. So that's their plan. Now almost the rest of the story is just getting the guys together, getting the boys together. So here we come and we get the first guy here, and it's Ash, and he's getting ready to hang himself, right? So they tell him, you shouldn't hang yourself. The colonel says, die a less cowardly way, and we have a adventure for you, and you're gonna die anyway, so why not just die this way? So he's like, okay, I'll do it. And then they walk down and they find another guy, and this guy here is Ados, and he looks to be wealthy, and I guess he's killed some kids somehow or something like that, so he's scheduled to be hanged. They don't really go back into his backstory too much, but everybody knows that he's done something, but we don't know really what it is. They pick him up and they go down to get to third person. And the third person is the coolest looking person. It's the person from the cover of the book. This is Rakala. Rakala. And she's like this little like Wolverine type kind of deal. She's very small. She's got these black eyes. And she's like, well, why are you in here? And he says, she's in here because she's dangerous. She hurt one of our men, and she goes on to say how she hurt him, and he was going to put his Johnson in her mouth, and she let him, and this is why she let him, because I guess she bit it off with those sharp, pointy teeth. And the only thing she's eaten in 2 weeks is one of the guards' fingers. So when the colonel was heading over there to talk to her, to tell her about what's going on, the guard had to stop him, like, hey, you don't want to talk to her, and this is why. And the fourth guy they go to get is Essen the Breaker, and this guy might look familiar, he might not. This is the dude that went crazy on the army and just started killing everybody and killed that blonde-haired dude, and I don't know how they subdued him, but they subdued him, and now he's in chains, so he's going to be the muscle. Sorry, the middle person is the Rakala is the person that can get through stealthily and everything like that. Edos is the guy who knows everything about everything. That little guy who was with Fess, the little magician guy that I was talking about that I couldn't remember his name is Maris, and I just remembered that because of Game of Thrones, that guy's name is Varys, so that's how I remember that. Anyways, and then Ash, of course, is the leader, and he is an Escaline guy, an ex-Escaline sergeant or something like that. So he was supposed to be helping the army figure out how to defeat the Escaline, and that's why he was in this army. So we go to a fifth guy. So the fifth guy, they're saying this is the last guy, and he's pretty important, and this guy's name is Tonk Pills. Tonk Pills, so here we see, hello, Tonk Pills. Just chewing on a turkey bone there, turkey leg. And the only reason this guy's important is because he immediately dies, and this black stuff starts coming out of his eyes. He's been poisoned. And Maris lets everybody else know that they've been poisoned too. And it takes 24 hours to take into effect, and they just got poisoned 12 hours ago, and they will they'll die just like this guy if they don't get the antidote. And he's only going to make this antidote every single day. He's never going to make any more of it, and as long as they help getting him and Fess into the anvil, he will continue to give them the antidote. And once the whole thing's over, he will give them a more permanent solution. So that's what's going to keep them from dashing away as soon as they leave this place. And everybody's pretty pissed off about it, but that's just the way it works. So the crew's all together now, and the colonel's like, so I have to make this look like an incident where you escaped, so plausible deniability, so if you die or get captured, it's not me sending you. So he calls the guards. So the guards come running. Ash wants to do things civilized way because they're just doing their job, but here we see Essen the Breaker just doing what he does, and he breaks everybody, and Ash is like, hey man, why don't you do it more civilized way? And he just gives them the old look, and Ash backs down. So the colonel says, the colonel says, why don't you use this as a chance to to be less cowardice and figure out a better way to get out of this. So that's what Ash does. They go down to the tunnels, and they have Eidos dress up like a guard and get the attention of these other couple of guards that are down there so that they can get through the door. But the door's barred from the other side. But they got a way to fix that, and we'll see here soon. So yeah, so here he's acting like he's the new watch captain, and before they can know it, he's got them all dead. Just kills them all. They run up to the door, and there's a very little baby window, and above the door. And the reason that Rakala has not ate in 2 weeks is because she was making herself even smaller so that she can get through the bars in her window in her prison cell. And now she takes advantage of that. Essen picks her up, hoists her up. She goes through the window, gets on the other side, kills the guards, opens the door. They go through the door, but now a flood of guards are coming through, and they don't know how to. They're trying to hold the doors and stuff like that. And then Maris said we've got some skill too. So he takes the iron on the outside of the door and welds it all together using magic. And then we go, and we're at the anvil now, and you see what's going on here. There's just a spiral of people just on stocks, just all the way up through this tunnel, and they're just being bled all the way down into this cavern. So this main dude walks down to the cavern, and he starts talking to the blood, and then all of a sudden this guy pops up out of the blood with all this writing on his head and stuff. And he begins to tell him, they know of me, and they know of you, and they know what's going on here, and they're coming. But what they don't know is that I can see them. And that's the end, guys. Pretty good story. I enjoyed it. The art was good. Yeah, good, pretty good writing. The character creation was, pretty good. Yeah, if this ended, I might read it. There's 11 issues. I think I have a couple more of the issues. I might try to get the other ones and see the rest of this. So I give this a pretty good grading. So check it out if you want to, and we'll see you next time, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and above all else, be good to yourselves.